All right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, all the way out to Staten Island, my home borough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video, and this is going to be another entry to the Greatest Games Ever series, Super Bowl 51. Now, of course, yesterday, it was reported that Tom Brady planned on announcing his retirement after 22 illustrious seasons in the National Football League. Since then, his father, Tom Brady's father, Tom Sr., came out and denied it. A lot of people close to Tom Brady came out and denied it and said, oh, Tom hasn't made a decision whether he wants to come back or retire. Look, Tom Brady's been hinting at retirement the past couple of days. If he retired, I wouldn't be shocked. But, if he came back for a 23rd season and tried to go out as an 8-time Super Bowl champion, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I do expect him to retire. And I did a video yesterday entitled "The GOAT Says Goodbye." Tom Brady announces his retirement. And in the video, I've said I'm going to be doing a bunch of Tom Brady-themed videos to honor his legendary career. Because Tom Brady, to me, he is the greatest of all time. And that's starting with this video, Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons. Which to me is probably the best game Tom Brady's ever played. And to me, it symbolizes his entire career. Coming from behind, against all odds, to emerge victorious and on top. And as a winner, he was a 7th quarterback of the depth chart at college. He struggled to win the starting job at Michigan. Came in as a backup, a 6th-round draft pick. Backup to Drew Bledsoe. He was a game manager early on, and he emerged as perhaps the greatest quarterback and the greatest player in NFL history. And to me, the Super Bowl against the Falcons symbolized all that. And it symbolized the entire Patriots dynasty. Tom Brady's clutch play and Bill Belichick's genius mind. Belichick doesn't panic. He doesn't really stress because he's prepared for every scenario. It shows how intelligent he is. And, of course, other Patriots players stepping up to make clutch plays. The receivers, the tight ends, and the defensive players. That's what Super Bowl 51 symbolized to me. Now, you real Patriots fans, you guys can tell me in the comment section down below if you disagree or agree or not. But just to me, from the outside looking in, that's how I view the Patriots dynasty. It's all encapsulated in Super Bowl 51. And of course, got to give a little backdrop. Of course, after the Patriots dismantled the Indianapolis Colts 45-7 in the AFC Championship game, this whole Deflategate scandal came out. Oh, the footballs weren't inflated to NFL standards, NFL regulations, blah, blah, blah. All this bullshit that they dragged all week, all Super Bowl week, even after the Super Bowl, after they defeated Seattle, all offseason, all 2015 offseason. It just got annoying after a while. And Tom Brady just said, fuck it. He bit the bullet and took the 4-game suspension. So the first 4 games of the 2016 season, the Patriots were out their leader, Tom Brady. Instead, they turned to backup Jimmy Garoppolo, who has been the previous 3 years under the tutelage of Bill Belichick. And, of course, we all know Belichick wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to replace Tom Brady in New England, but, that's another story. But so the Patriots turned to Jimmy Garoppolo, and they still had their core of great receivers and tight ends, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Rob Gronkowski. They had Chris Hogan, who I believe was a lacrosse player at Duke or somewhere like that. And they had trusty running back LeGarrette Blount, who finished the 2016 season with 18 rushing touchdowns. He led the league, and, they picked him up midway through the 2014 season after he got released from Pittsburgh. Yeah, you know what they say? One man's trash is another man's treasure. The Steelers, man. The Steelers under Mike Tomlin. Lord have mercy. But in week 1, they went to the desert to face the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday Night Football, and they dismantled the Cardinals 23-21. Then week 2, they faced the Miami Dolphins, defeated them 31-24. Week 3 on Thursday Night Football, without Jimmy Garoppolo, they turned to 3rd-string quarterback Jacoby Brissett, and they dismantled the Houston Texans 27-0. Then in week 4, they got dismantled by the Buffalo Bills 16-0. LaShawn McCoy just ran all over them. But it was all right because Brady was back. Week 5 against the Cleveland Browns, and they dismantled the Browns 33-13 in Cleveland. Then against Cincinnati Bengals, Tom Brady's first game in New England, they handled the Bengals, but things got a little chippy. Notorious dirty player Vontaze Burfict, he hit Martellus Bennett in his knees, the tight end Martellus Bennett in his knees. Martellus Bennett was a defensive receiver. Gronkowski came in to step up for the new guy, stand up to the Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, man, under Marvin Lewis. Vontaze Burfict, Pac-Man Jones. I had little or no respect for those guys because their attitude was, if we can't beat you on the scoreboard, we're going to beat you up physically. Hit you in the head, hit you in your knees. They were a very dirty team. Didn't really respect them at all. That's why they never won shit. But, the Patriots did take no bullshit. You know, they weren't like, we're no Tom Brady pretty boys. We're some tough motherfuckers too. We can get down and dirty if we need to. And Bill Belichick sent that message to him, made it very clear. When LeGarrette Blount hammered away to score a touchdown, and the Patriots destroyed the Bengals 35-17 in New England. The bromance of Brady and Gronkowski was reunited, for a short spell. Because on Sunday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks, Earl Thomas hit Rob Gronkowski, injuring him and putting him out for the season, and the Patriots lost that game 31-24. Gronkowski became a victim of the Madden cover curse. Because Gronk was on the cover of that year's Madden. Without Gronkowski, so the Patriots may struggle. They didn't. They finished the season at 14-2, the number one ranked total offense in the National Football League. The 2016 New England Patriots, man, they're one of the greatest teams I've ever seen. And they're probably the best team of the 21st century. If we're talking about the best team of the 21st century, you're talking about the 2000 Ravens, the 02 Bucks, who really only known for their defense, not as an entire unit. You got the 04 Patriots, you got the 08 Steelers, the 07 Patriots, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, the 09 Saints, you got the 2013 Seahawks. I think the 2016 Patriots are the best team of the century. Of the 2000s, the 2010s. As right now, they're probably the best team. Them and maybe Seattle in 2013. Well, at least to me, those are the best teams of this century. Tom Brady threw 28 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, a record for fewest interceptions thrown in the season. And they had the number one ranked defense in the entire NFL. I get it, the Patriots defense may not have big-time superstars like the 2000 Ravens or the 02 Bucks. They have smart players who can get the job done. Dante Hightower, Devin McCourty, Patrick Chung, guys like that. Malcolm Butler. Smart guys who can get the job done. That's what's most important. In the divisional round, they defeated the Houston Texans 34-16 to advance to the AFC Championship game where they faced a familiar foe. Antonio Brown, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who they defeated in the regular season in Pittsburgh. Now, of course, this was in the aftermath of the Steelers defeating the Chiefs in the divisional round in Kansas City. Antonio Brown went on Facebook Live. That was a big deal, a very big deal, which Antonio Brown's kind of never really lived down. But the Patriots made the Steelers pay for their cockiness. They destroyed them 36-17 in New England to advance to the seventh Super Bowl in the Brady Belichick era. Now for the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, the year prior in 2015, started out the season at 5-0 to only finish 8-8 and miss the playoffs. Talk about a collapse. But don't worry, that wasn't the worst collapse the Falcons had. But anyway, coming back, Matt Ryan came back and had an MVP season. He had career highs in yards, touchdowns, and completion percentage. 4,944 yards, 38 touchdowns, a 69.9% completion percentage, and a passer rating of 117.1. All career highs, and Matt Ryan was named MVP. The Falcons' offense was the number one ranked offense in the entire NFL that year, scoring 540 points, which is 8th all time, and the most, of course, that season. Julio Jones finished that season with 83 catches, 1,409 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Julio's not a real touchdown machine. And I believe in week 3 or week 4 against the Carolina Panthers in Atlanta, Julio Jones had a 300-yard receiving game. 300 yards. I believe only Calvin Johnson and a receiver named Flipper Anderson have done that. Julio is a freak of nature, man. And of course, the Falcons probably had the best running back duo in the NFL. Devontae Freeman, who had 1,079 yards and 11 touchdowns, and Tevin Coleman contributed with 8 touchdowns of his own. But he was mainly a receiving type running back. The Falcons sent 6 players to the Pro Bowl, had 4 All-Pros, 3 of which were first team. The 3 first-team All-Pros were Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and edge rusher Vic Beasley. Of course, there's the safety Keanu Neal. The Falcons, even though they had an All-Pro defensive player, they had the 27th ranked defense in the NFL. They weren't a good defensive team, so that's why they had that great offense. They got to score all them points. The Falcons finished the season at 11-5. 11-5, won the division, and had home field advantage throughout the playoffs, as they were the number one seed in the NFC. In the divisional round, they faced the Seattle Seahawks. Which of course were led by Russell Wilson. And the Falcons handled the Seahawks 36-20 and sent Russell Wilson packing home to Sierra. Of course, this was probably the most embarrassing play of the game. The center for the Seahawks stepped on Russell Wilson's foot. He tripped in the end zone. The Falcon player fell on him for a safety. And guess who was in attendance at that game? Hendrix himself, Future, and Bow Wow was at the attendance of the game. And I read something that said Future sent a Falcons jersey to his son after the Falcons destroyed the Seahawks. Oh man, Future and Russell Wilson. This little back and forth. Well, not really a back and forth because Russell Wilson don't say shit. And kudos to him. Shows how mature he is and how petty Future is. Anyway, in the NFC Championship game, the Falcons faced the Green Bay Packers, who were led by Aaron Rodgers, who was probably as hot as any quarterback in NFL history. The Packers ran the table. They defeated the Cowboys in the divisional round, only to get defeated by the Atlanta Falcons 44-21 in the NFC Championship game. They got absolutely destroyed. And the Falcons were going to their second ever Super Bowl in franchise history. Of course, they win 98 as the Dirty Birds. So this is the second appearance in franchise history, a chance to redeem themselves, redeem the franchise. Here's the owner, Arthur Blank, after the game. Arthur Blank after the game. So the Super Bowl was set in Houston Texans. The Atlanta Falcons versus the New England Patriots, the number one offense versus the number one defense. A lot of people, including myself, picked the Falcons to win the game. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. Honestly, I honestly did, I respect the Belichick and Patriots defense, but, the Falcons offense, they were just hot. Scoring 36 against Seattle, the Legion of Boom. Scoring 44 against Green Bay. I thought they had a lot of momentum going into the Super Bowl. So I thought it was going to be a very high-scoring game. Well, I kind of was right about that. The game was underway. After a scoreless first quarter, the Falcons got hot in the second quarter. Devontae Freeman scoring a touchdown. Then Austin Hooper scored a touchdown. And then Robert Alford intercepted Tom Brady and returned it 80-some yards to the house for a pick six. And just like that, the Falcons were up 21-3 at halftime. Lady Gaga, she did a little halftime show. She did a good job. And then the Falcons came out and scored again. Tevin Coleman. And just like that, the Falcons were up 28-3. But this is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick you're going up against. Never doubt Tom Brady, never doubt Bill Belichick either. They handed the ball off to running back James White, who scored. They tried a 2-point conversion. They failed, so it's 28-9. The kicker kicked a field goal. Gutowski, I believe. Gutowski, that's how you pronounce it. Kicked a field goal, and it was 28-12. Then, in the fourth quarter, with 8 minutes 31 seconds to go, Dante Hightower sacked Matt Ryan, causing a fumble. The Patriots recovered. And Tom Brady hit Danny Amendola for a touchdown. Then James White went up the gut for a 2-point conversion. And just like that, it was 28-20. And then, with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the game, Julian Edelman made one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history. The ball was tipped, and he caught it on Robert Alford's leg. The Falcons challenged it. I thought they shouldn't have challenged it. That was a dumb idea. They only had one timeout remaining. Of course, when you lose a challenge, you lose your final timeout. So the Falcons had no more timeouts. And anybody could see that was a catch. The ball didn't touch the ground. It hit Robert Alford's leg. Everybody could see that. But anyway, except for the Falcons coaches. But just like that, the Patriots scored again. They hit a 2-point conversion. And the score was 28-28, and we were going to overtime. The first overtime in Super Bowl history. And then after a series of great plays, James White found the end zone for a touchdown. And the Patriots won the Super Bowl 34-28 in overtime. Thus completing one of, if not the greatest comeback in NFL history, and for damn sure the greatest in Super Bowl history. And the Falcons' 28-3 lead and them choking that went down in NFL lore, and it's something the franchise hasn't lived down. Until the Falcons franchise wins a Super Bowl, they will never live down 28-3 ever. God bless them, but they will never live that down. And the Patriots damn sure wouldn't let them live it down, because when the Patriots received their Super Bowl rings, it had 283 diamonds. And then the 2017 season, the Falcons came to New England, and there were so many posters of 28-3, 28-3, 28-3. The Falcons, the franchise is never going to live this down. Of course, Tom Brady threw for 466 yards, 2 touchdowns, and was named Super Bowl MVP. But to me, James White, he easily could have got Super Bowl MVP. Tom Brady deserved it, but James White could have got it easily. 14 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving. James White probably should have got MVP, but Tom Brady got it. And I don't have a real problem with that. You can't really have a problem with that. But anyway, what do you guys think of this game? Was it the greatest game you ever watched? Was it the greatest Super Bowl you ever watched? To me, so Super Bowl 42 is the best Super Bowl I ever watched, and this Super Bowl would be second. The Super Bowl 49, I probably have third. In terms of entire NFL history, you got Super Bowl 25, Super Bowl 32, Super Bowl 23, Super Bowl 13, all the great Super Bowls ever. This one can stand up there, number one all time, arguably. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Click the like button, subscribe, help a young brother grow on YouTube, turn on your notification bells. See you all.